Are you ready for a shootout? Welcome everybody back to another Majestic Shaver channel video. We appreciate you being here. We love to talk about the tools, technique, and tradition of your classic wet shave. But today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a product shootout between, wait for it, the Harry's 5-blade cartridge razor, I know 5 blades, right? And the classic safety razor, in this case represented by a Rockwell 6C. Now, if you've seen my video on the Rockwell 6C, the full review, I'll link it down below actually, you know how much I really appreciate and enjoy this safety razor. However, we do recognize that options like Harry's cartridge razors, Dollar Shave Club, these are becoming more and more popular because they're seen as a good value. But are they really? What about the performance between these two razors? Let's find out a little bit more about them. One thing I like to consider in this shootout is just a few features physically of the two different razors. You can see that, of course, the cartridge razor is a fair bit longer than the safety razor. But for me, weight is really something I noticed during a shave. So let's see the difference between these two. First, the Harry's razor, and that comes to 1.5 ounces there if you can't see it. Now let's go with the Rockwell. The scale is now set to 0. And the Rockwell is at 3.5 ounces. So it's more than double the weight of the Harry's cartridge razor. And that's something that we're probably going to notice during the shave. Speaking of the shave, let's get to it. I also just unboxed this today. So it hasn't been used. First time out of the box, and so the blade should be nice and sharp. With my Rockwell 6C, I do have it on the number 4 plate, so that's a little bit more aggressive, but that's where I like and typically shave with the Rockwell is that 4 setting. And I've also got a Persona, a double-edged blade, the Persona Blue, first time I'm going to use it. I also wrestled a little bit with what I would use as far as shave cream or shave soap. A lot of people with a cartridge razor are going to use something out of a can, whereas of course with my safety razor I'm going to use quality soap. However, I do want things to be as fair as possible. While I did debate the idea of putting shaving cream out of a can on this side of my face and using my traditional shave soap on this side, I really wanted a level playing field. So for this shave I'm going to be using my Craftsman Soap Company, I love that scent, citrus and spruce. It's a delightful mix of your orange and some spruce scents in there. Anyway, it's one of my favorites, and again, I want a level playing field, so let's lather up. So I'm lathered up, guys. Also, I just want to mention briefly that in addition to my Craftsman Soap Company citrus spruce soap, I did use some of the Cube pre-shave soap from Phoenix Shaving. So here we go. I don't know why. I haven't used a cartridge razor in like 5 years. That's probably why I'm a little bit more nervous about cutting myself with one of these. But anyway, I'm going to use this on the right side of my face. We'll see how it goes. I should mention I have about 1 day's growth on this, so yeah. And again, I apologize if my form is bad on the cartridge razor. I just don't use these things. Now, one of the things I can notice right away is that these 5 blades, they're picking up a lot of the soap and a lot of the stubble kind of right away. Not bad. Now, I should mention as well, I got a little bit of cut the other day with my straight razor. Lost my concentration, not a good idea with the straight razor. So anyway, if something happens to open up, it's just residual from the straight razor. Okay, I can definitely feel that it's tugging when I get to the stiffer stuff, the heavier beard growth that I have on my chin. I think that's common for a lot of guys, but I can certainly feel that starting to pull a little bit in those areas. Not too bad. Let's go to the safety razor. One of the things I noticed right away is that the weight of this razor, again, it's more than twice the weight of the cartridge. I really feel the difference as far as how much pressure needs to be applied to the blade. So first pass, I will say the results kind of similar on both sides, probably actually a little smoother here on the Harry's. In this particular area, again, that's 5 blades, but I did get more of a tugging action here on my chin with the cartridge razor as opposed to using the safety. So let me relather, we'll go with the second pass. So I'm ready for a second pass with the cartridge razor, and again, I apologize, my technique is not as good with the cartridge razor. And I'm trying to keep things even using the same soap. I'm actually shaving right-handed, left-handed with the safety razor, and I'm naturally right-handed dominant. But one of the things I'll mention is after picking up the safety razor, this kind of feels like a toy. I mean, it's got 5 blades in it and they're sharp, but it feels lightweight. It feels disposable. It doesn't feel like something that really has much heft or mass to it, and I feel that difference in using it. So anyway, let's go for this. So you may be able to hear that, but there was plenty of whiskers left behind. That's leaving a decent finish. So I feel like I'm starting to get the idea of that flex head. That head flexing is not something I'm used to with a safety razor. Definitely not with a straight razor. So I'm starting to get a little bit better with that. Also, I got myself a little bit with the safety razor on that side. Again, slight tug here on the chin and a little bit of irritation. Not bad though, not bad. That flex head though, I'm not used to it. It doesn't feel as responsive. It's sort of like driving a car that's very smooth but has really sloppy handling. Like you don't really feel like you're in control. And that's sort of what this feels like to me. That head keeps flexing and it just doesn't feel precise. But I will say it's easy. It's kind of like a razor with training wheels. That would be like a really bad idea, wouldn't it? But anyway. Just 2 passes, but I'm going to go back here against the, this direction because that's the way it works for me. Okay, so I survived that. Let me switch back to my safety razor, the Rockwell, for pass 2. Immediately I noticed the difference. Stiffer blade, sharper blade. And again, this to me feels more like, to use the analogy of a car, this is like a sports car. It's tight, it's responsive, and I actually feel like I'm in more control. All right, so that's a 2-pass shave, and I think I'm just gonna leave it there. Let me rinse off and we'll move on. All right, so I rinsed off and let's see how the results are. Pretty smooth actually, the cheek area, both sides. I feel like on this area here that the safety razor got a little bit closer. Now that might be just my technique is better. I'm more used to a safety razor, but the neck area, pretty good on both sides. Yeah, so not a bad result. I do feel like the cartridge razor tugged a little bit. I had to rinse it out a little bit more often, but again, it's very easy. The flexible head, it's a very kind of loose, forgiving razor, I would say, and yeah, I think the results are acceptable. Both can give you a decent shave if you use them correctly, and if you use a good shave soap, good pre-shave, and obviously a post-shave. I'm actually going to finish up with a post-shave, and then we'll go into some concluding comments. So who wins our shootout? Well, again, the results on either razor are pretty good. However, when I think about the experience, the precision, the type of control that I like to have over the razor, I have to go with the Rockwell 6C. It just allows me to feel like I'm in more control of my shave. You add to that the fact that over the years, over decades even, I'm going to get greater value out of this than I would a cartridge razor. And on top of that, I can customize my shaving experience by changing to different blades. The Rockwell 6C is our clear winner of our shootout. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like or subscribe button. Until next time, shave happy, everyone.
Hey, that was pretty cool, right? I mean, like really Western looking. So let's call the costume department, and I need some spurs and like a poncho.